Goodness to you. This is Sporty King, and I say goodness because I don't know whether you're watching morning, noon, or evening. But isn't it great to have good in the front? Welcome to Gift Friday. Gift Friday is something that I created because so often we hear TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. But I say, what allure does Friday have to that person who took their last breath on Thursday or any day before that for that matter? So I use what I've learned through Psalm 92 and 2, and that is, it is good to proclaim your unfailing love in the morning, your faithfulness in the evening. In other words, instead of TGIF, I say TGIT. Thank God it's today. And then TGIT, thank God it's tonight. Because to go through the whole day, have a chance to wake up and do it again, I think we need to be thanking God. So I add the lesson that I learned through Matthew 6 and 34. And that is, so don't be worried about tomorrow, for tomorrow will bring its own worries. TGIT. Thank God it's today. Today's trouble is enough for today. TGIT. Thank God it's tonight. And I offer first another look at TGIF, and that is that trusting God is free. Think about it. What does it cost to be blessed with the greatest gift of the day? Waking up. It doesn't cost a thing. And that still moves us into realizing that when we move the T in TGIF to the end, we find what we really must be giving God thanks for. And that is TGI, GIFT, and that is today. Thus, GIFT is God is for today. And Gift Friday is the online sharing of one of my original poems and its possible uses to inspire audiences online or in person or just you personally. Each poem will be my gift to you. So here you hear me read it and share this week's gift. New twist for you. If you'd like a keepsake copy, a free keepsake, colorful copy of the poem, and you're watching on Facebook, Meta, however they choose to call it, or on LinkedIn, I ask that you email me at sporty@sportyking.com to request a copy of today's poem. If you're watching on YouTube or from my site, sportyking.com, you can please just put your request in the comment thread. It'll come to me automatically, and I'll be able to respond to you automatically. So here's today's message. In January 1984, I relocated to Chicago, having been promoted through the Wall Street Journal from an ad salesperson to Midwest Regional Advertising Sales Manager. This would be the third city that I lived in while at the Journal over my 18-year career. But I became a part of what I've named the corporate mistake. The corporate mistake. The corporate mistake is what? A good salesperson will make a good sales manager instantly. And so I ended up growing. That was my theory, by the way. I created that. So I ended up growing through two lessons. One, check yourself and check yourself. In other words, redirect. And two, listen, learn, and lead. Here's that lesson. You see, I had a staff of 17 people, 8 salespeople, 8 sales assistants, and 1 secretary. I had 5 offices: Chicago, Cleveland, Minneapolis, Detroit, and St. Louis. And I went in thinking that everybody should want to be like me. Wasn't that why I got promoted? So I implemented my management plan A. Everyone wants to be like me. And with every sales report they sent, I edited, commented on, and sent back showing them how they could be more like me. And with every follow-up letter they sent, I edited, commented on, and sent back showing them how they could be more like me. With everything they did, I commented on, showing them how they could be more like me. And I was excited about how I was shaping up my staff and helping them grow to be more like me. So after 2 months, I sent out a survey to see how we were doing. I had them send their response to one person who compiled and sent them to me. I sat down excited to see how we were doing. And I found out that 15 of them couldn't stand my guts. One was on the bubble, and my secretary liked me because she knew what I was doing. So, lesson number one, I had to check myself. You see, one thing that I had never checked was with my previous managers and mentors about how to ease into my new role. I thought about how I like to be managed yesterday instead of how my managers had actually built a relationship and of trust. I'm sorry, my managers and mentors had actually built a relationship of trust and respect that asked to be edited, commented on, and reshaped over the years. Well, I had always joked about how, hey, we're on plan A, and then plan B, and then plan C. They said, well, Sporty, what are you going to do when you run out of alphabets? I said, then we'll number them. We'll be on plan 1A and 1B and 1C. But what I did, I started that practice right then and there. I had to move from recognizing that plan A wasn't working. So after checking with my managers and mentors, I moved from my management plan A to management plan B. What motivates you? And see, so I asked my salespeople that, and I brought all of them in from the outside offices. I brought one in because I had one sales manager, one sales rep, and one sales assistant at each of the outside offices. I was in Chicago, and I had the rest of them in Chicago. So I brought them in for a sales meeting. And I said, okay, we're going to start all over. We're on plan B. What motivates you? I'm going to go around the table and ask each one of you to tell me what motivates you. But I'll start by telling you what motivates me. And I'll give that to you in the form of one of my original poems. And the poem is from my book, I Found Out I'm Dying, A Celebration of Life. The title of the poem is A Motivating Factor. Poverty motivates me because I've seen it and lived through it. I've touched and in many ways been touched by the sadness of doing or being without. My senses have been penetrated by the horror of surrender, flushed from the mainstream of society, diminished to nothing but a concern, ignored, deplored, unrestored. Poverty motivates me because I've escaped it and lived despite it. Yet, I am not so naive nor too vain to believe that I am beyond it. I rechecked myself. And in rechecking myself, I had to redirect. Then, now that I had opened it up, I went around the table and asked each salesperson to let me know what motivated them so that I could start treating them like people instead of objects. But the most important thing after you recheck yourself and you redirect is that I had to listen, learn, and learn to lead what would become a wonderful sales staff of people for my final 6 years at the Wall Street Journal. I will ever be grateful for the lesson that they taught me as I reflect on the lessons that each of my managers taught me and the lesson that my Wall Street Journal experience taught me that makes me appreciate my success today. So I say to you, you don't have to be a part of the corporate mistake to lead an effective team or a good life. What you have to do is check yourself and check yourself. Redirect, and then listen, learn, and lead. Because your gift to us is always going to be not what motivates me, but what motivates you. Remember, if you like a free keepsake colorful copy of that poem, and you're watching on Facebook, Meta, or LinkedIn, send me an email to sporty@sportyking.com. If you're watching on YouTube or on my website, you can drop that request in the thread. Have a safe, wonderful weekend. And remember, Gift Friday, GIFT. God is for today. Thank you, and God bless you. Ciao.